Alright, welcome everyone to the final round 1 matchup of Historical Rivalries Cup. So, hold up.
Adesh, namaste.
Okay, everything seems to be working now. Apologies. But yes, this is the final round 1 matchup, and after this we'll be seeing some familiar faces in round 2 as they battle it out for a spot in the semifinals. But for now, we will be sticking around here, and we've got on one side we have BlackBaby playing as the Britons and Sorentine as the Franks. BlackBaby over here and Sorentine over here. They're actually quite far apart, closer to their enemies more so than each other. Franks Britons, of course, being one of the classic Civ matchups. They're simple, they complement each other really well, they do their own roles very well. Good eco, good military, no particular weaknesses. Now, CharChar and Medusa has elected to pick the Civ pairing I don't like, which is Indians and Mayans, and you might recall me saying that all of these pairings are based on historical rivalries, or at least, like, historical relationships. Indians and Mayans were the leftovers. And I don't like the fact that they're being played, because it brings attention to the fact that I couldn't quite fit everything in the way I want to. But they're an interesting combo, right? Because Mayans, they don't have, until Imperial Age, they don't have a super good counter to cavalry, right? They want to focus on archers, and they do archers ridiculously well. Their eco is insane. But if they want to actually counter cavalry, they have to go with their fairly weak monks or their halberdiers, which are just generic, and you don't want to go too heavy on barracks. Honestly, that early you kind of want to stick to archers as much as you can. I think Sorentine might have accidentally sent out a second one. Oh no, she's just gonna start pulling up. And Indians, of course, have their camels. They're weak towards archer civs, but Mayans are probably the best archer civ in the game, or at least a considerable candidate for them. And even if they go up against like a civ like Britons that could potentially give them a run for their money in pure archer value, their skirmishers are insanely good with Welche Javelineers, as well as just plumed archers having some base pierce armor, and of course the speed to dodge out ballistics and the like. So I do think it's a very good combo at the end of the day, but I'll see if it can stand up against Franks and Mayans. Now Indians, contrary to popular belief, Indians don't actually have a good win rate against Franks. Franks are just kind of that insanely broken that they can win against like a civ that specializes in a direct counter. So Franks actually tend to win over Indians.
Ready.
So I think that might give enough of an edge to Sorentine and BlackBaby. But it is definitely like in a team game, that sort of stuff gets a lot more complicated.
Ready.
Still, we're seeing CharChar sending her eagle forward a bit here. Curious what she's actually looking for, if she's trying to go for a lane. BlackBaby has put her scout on a bunch of deer. I don't know if that's intentional, like if she's thinking about pushing them or putting down a mill. Ooh. And the second, oh, that's a little bit unfortunate for Medusa where that went. Some scout cavalry fighting here. Oh, so Medusa's breaking off some villages to try to deal with it, but otherwise it's just gonna be what it usually is. Just a little bit of skirmishing, and then I'll see you later. So, oh, there we go. We are seeing the pushing from BlackBaby. Very good. Apart from that, it seems largely like no one's gonna try for a lame. No one's gonna go quite yellow. We're seeing walling already from CharChar. Makes a lot of sense with Mayans having cheaper walls. So she's gonna set those up in advance and then probably just set up 2 archer ranges, and boom up behind them. Just build an infinite amount of archers with that insanely high discount. Gonna abandon the deer in the process, but I don't think she's gonna be too worried about that. The spore is running out quickly. Does she have a sheep under the CC? Aha! She does not. But she gets that done. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Sometimes I need to find things to be critical of. These deer are kind of unfortunate, like they're very far away, and even in the middle, like these two are actually kind of rough deer positions. But it's balanced, one on each team, right? CharChar still has her Eagle Warrior forward here, so I do wonder if she's actually like... She might just be trying to scout out when BlackBaby puts down her archer range and where. but it is interesting to see it being just here observing, because here's the thing, right? If BlackBaby notices this, which like is just out of her line of sight right now, if she notices this, this might be like a tip off that, okay, someone's coming here. So she sees it running past, I think she actually reacts to that, yeah. Looks like she's trying to chase it down, but for now it's just gonna be back. Oh yeah, I believe Sorentine sent me these, and I believe she plays in German, so Medusa ist zur feudal site vorangeschritten, in case you're curious. So she's the first to feudal, everyone else is coming up, no one's gonna try any fast castle shenanigans, no one's gonna try any fast imp shenanigans. Haven't seen any fast imps so far in this tournament, but I'm sure we'll get there. If anything, we've seen a lot of very long feudal battles, which I kinda like. I think just because this is so messy compared to a normal 2v2 tournament, I think people, you know, they become a little bit messy themselves, to say the least. Okay, she spots this, but this Scout Cab can actually now run down at Eagle Scout, and not having the Eagle Scout makes her a lot more vulnerable to potential skirmisher play. CharChar is only getting one archer range up now. So, looking like that Eagle Warrior is indeed down. It's a pretty damaged Scout Cavitat. I think the Eagle Warrior got a few downhill hits on him. Otherwise, it's not a big deal. Medusa's pulling out Spearman already, but as Scout Cav's in, I don't think Sorentine was ready for this to be a hole. And she has nothing in defense right now. She's gonna be getting scouts, and they are gonna be Frank scouts, so a little bit stronger. But I think she's gonna lose a little bit here. Horse Collar coming in from CharChar. She double feels like she's just gonna try to sit this back, and I assume there was like a pause or something. It looks like she's gonna sit back and just kind of try to eco this out as much as possible, but oh, Sorentine, you need to do something about this right now. This is getting out of hand. The Spearman is coming out, that's good. She has it in a good position, but that looks... Spearman went too far. And, okay, a couple of confused maneuvers over here. As Wolf has been taking actually a little bit extra damage, I think, to the Archer here, which is a bit unfortunate, but not the worst thing in the world. I think Sorentine might end up catching on to this. Like, she's this, but she's also seeing scouts appear over here, so she must start putting things together at this point. Might have her wood line hit, but she has enough spears to actually fight if she needs to. Where are her scouts currently? Did she lose them all? Am I crazy? Oh no, they're over here. Sorry, I couldn't see them against the background. A ping here from Medusa, pointing out that they're breaking through here. Also, apologies for the team colors, because you know, this is a custom lobby, so they can choose their own team colors. So in case you're used to warm versus cool, not happening in this tournament, I'm afraid. At least not necessarily. Some civs or some teams might pick that independently. But just Sorentine's sending our scouts here to help, and as long as CharChar pulls out a little bit here, that should be enough. I mean, she has 4 archers in here. I don't see a blacksmith yet. And I mean, fletching is in for no one, so I guess that's not quite as big of a deal as it might sound. But fletching is coming in from CharChar now. Where did you put up that? Oh, all the way back here. Oh, good lord. I think that's walled off. But they're coming up now against the town center. There's a solid wall here. Apart from here, there's a slight hole. She could plug that without too much difficulty. She has to abandon this wood line for now, though. But Sorentine is here. She's ready to contribute if she needs to. These scouts can soak up a lot, but don't send them in right now. Okay. Wait, this is the same team. God damn it. Okay, I got tripped up by that. My apologies. Okay. CharChar is able to push them back a little bit. Sorentine's still not putting hers on attack stance, but they're gonna go in now. But again, it's up against a TC. If they don't... Okay, BlackBaby is saying no, don't engage. But she's getting engaged on. She has to be careful here. I mean, these are more archers, and they've got fletching. Fletching is coming in from BlackBaby, but she's gotta keep these alive for now. I think if CharChar knew that fletching is coming in right this moment, I think she would have pushed that. mean, there's no armor in any of these, so... Oh, these are in, and that's gonna do a lot of damage. That's a gold mine that's just gonna get shredded. She abandons it when she sees the spearman. I don't think Sorentine is paying attention. I don't even know if she noticed that, because nothing's happened. It's just this one spearman's been sent around. Oh, and they're getting kind of tunneled in here. Funneled in here in this little spot, and this is right next to the archery ranges. She can get a lot of support for that as soon as she wants to. But she is outnumbered currently. She's up against equal... no, actually... No, yeah, they have equal upgrades now. Both have picked up armor. It's gonna be close. These scouts are not doing quite as much damage now as they could. Getting chased off by spearmen, but again, this hole isn't plugged. It's just one spot. You can just slap down a stone wall and it will be good. Anyway. Yeah, Sorentine's in a rough spot. She's lost a lot of vills. Not exactly keeping up with the rest, but BlackBaby's doing well. She's keeping CharChar on her toes. And honestly could genuinely think about just trying to push into a fight here. It's hard. Right now it essentially comes down to who micros better. BlackBaby has an extra archer, but CharChar's archers are healthier overall, and she's at home where she can get a lot more use out of those archery ranges. These scout calves are just gonna sit back for now. Sorentine scout calves are looking around, trying to find a spot, trying to find an invisible hole somewhere. These archers are just sitting here, blasting the barracks for now. I don't think barracks is gonna play too much of a role, but I would honestly like to at least consider some skirmishes here as Medusa hits, sorry, not Castle Age, straight to the site. And Sorentine's gonna run away for now, and I mean, I assume camels are gonna start coming out. So, with camels, like again, Franks are so strong that in a normal game, if you go Knights versus Camels, you can do that just fine, but Sorentine is behind now. And if you're going up against the camel mass with your Frank Knights that came out afterwards, it's not going to be super easy, but this is an uphill fight. She could get up to this little plateau and take the fight, but she doesn't want to. She's leaving for now. She's just going to play this carefully. If she loses this army, she has nothing to defend herself, and her entire woodline can go. There's actually a hole in here. I don't think that will matter much. She may or may not notice. But free TCs from Medusa are going to use that Indian boom. Cheaper villagers make it so much easier to sustain production. It's kind of the opposite of Persians in that sense, because Persian faster working TCs make it harder to sustain production. But CharChar is moving forward. Both of the archer players are going up to castle. And this might get very dangerous and very lethal very quickly. Sorentine has not clicked up yet. She's close. I think she might actually have the resources. I don't know what that means. I'm just gonna be really honest. Apparently Sorentine does, which is surprising, but yeah, I have no idea what Paisai means. Okay, get Castle Age for BlackBaby. So these are gonna be crossbows. Crossbows don't really have to worry about skirms. Towers coming up here for BlackBaby on the defense, but CharChar's got a lot of archers. Might actually be able to prevent that. It's gonna be close, but no, she taps out, and these are gonna be crossbows very soon. And that gold mine is gonna be gone very soon, I think. But oh, the camels are just riding in here. That extra building damage is doing a ton of work. In these numbers, archers still beat crossbowmen, but it's not there where we're concerned right now. We're concerned about the home front for CharChar, and this, I think BlackBaby might be able to swing this game in their favor. Sorentine was looking pretty bad for a while there, and because of this hole and because of the scout raids. But this is a huge raid. I mean, again, it's not even just Vil kills, although she's gotten quite a few of those too. It's even just pushing all of these farmers off, and now she's bringing back, but this 8. It is 8 with the help of... Oh. It's a little bit unfortunate because I'm not sure I can select just... No, I don't know if there's a good way to select just military units, but yeah, that's 16, 17, 18, 19 units now against 17 crossbows. but it's fine because she has a hill, and that should be enough to push her over. Sorentine is now in the castle age, but she can't go for knights. Like, it's just too late to go for knights now. She has to go for pikemen. She has to go. Yeah, she's building a barracks now. And gonna lose that villager, I suspect, and probably the house too. I mean, camels are scary when they're coming from India. Something about backstream camels. I know the actual majority of Indian camels are still dromedaries, I'm pretty sure, but still, you get the point. There's something about that breed in particular. This has been scrappy on the back front here for BlackBaby and CharChar. But, I mean, if nothing else, BlackBaby is untouched. She doesn't have to worry about any of this. But Sorentine has to worry all the more. I mean, now we're coming in with Mangonels and Scorpions, so even if these pikemen start coming out, they're gonna be behind. Oh no, Sorentine, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sorentine. You're just getting rid of these last units for now. I mean, this is not a huge mass, but it's enough to cause some serious eco concerns. Market coming up just to balance. I mean, she's off gold, she needs to balance that out. But yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much Sorentine can do at this point. Like, going all in for... Yeah, they're calling it, I think. Sorentine's not having a great time on her side. And yeah, I believe that's the all call of GG. And Medusa and CharChar snatches the first point. The GGs come in, and the game is indeed over. Yeah, that game definitely played out like... It's kind of 50-50, it seems to me, whether these games play out as like two 1v1s or an actual team game. And that's understandable. I mean, team games are hard. Team games require a lot of thinking, a lot of cooperation, and especially for teams like... I think both of these teams were put together. Like, I don't think they signed up as a team. I think they were put together after the fact. They signed up as individuals. So that makes it a lot harder if you don't have any, like, established ideas for how to do stuff beforehand. But we'll see. They might very well be able to snatch it back. So, we're gonna move on to game 2. So, this is gonna be on Sorentine's and BlackBaby's home map, and we are indeed returning to Arena. So, Medusa and CharChar are gonna be sticking with Teutons and Lithuanians, and Sorentine and BlackBaby is gonna stick with Teutons and Italians. So you might be surprised to see the same civ here. The reason for this is because there's an uneven amount of civs. I mean, this is all being played before Dawn of the Dukes and however many civs come out of that DLC. But for now there are 37 civs, so one of them did unfortunately have to double up, and we decided to pick the fan favorite Teutons. So the Teutons and Italians are the Pope and Anti-Pope team, and the Teutons and Lithuanians are the Northern Crusaders team. And I think they'll end up playing out quite differently, right? Because Lithuanians can support Teutons a lot of ways. They can definitely double up on a heavy cav if they want to, or they can just try to set up like infantry backed by skirmishers and siege. Like, Lithuanian skirmishers are probably the best in the game, much like their heavy cavalry is probably the best in the game. And Teutons and Italians, I think, is interesting because I think that might be more of a you set up Teutons with. I think that's a more traditional setup of Teutons on knights, like scouts into knights, and Italians on archers into crossbows. It is interesting to see how this will play out. I mean, all of these civs are actually quite good at monks. However, they both get conversion resistance here. Like, Lithuanians and Teutons both have full monk tech trees, and in fact both of them have further bonuses. Lithuanian monasteries work faster, and they have the relic mechanic where their knights get better. So you pretty much always want to get up at least one monastery to start trying to collect these. And Italians have everything except for heresy in the monastery. And I mean, most games you will not see heresy. Even when people go heavy into monks on both sides, you won't really see heresy. It happens, but it's quite rare. Interestingly, I think the relic sword is actually kind of rough for Medusa. Like, she has one close one, so that's a good one, but the others are pretty close to the middle, arguably going a little bit towards BlackBaby and Sorentine. Still, it's definitely anyone's game, and I'll be very interested to see how the two separate Teuton players actually end up, you know, playing out their sim, because Teutons are pretty wide as far as what they can do. So there's definitely no reason to think that we'll just see two knights, like knight plays going into against each other. That might happen, and certainly it's going to be a hell of a slog given the extra melee armor. It's going to take so much longer to actually get anything done, especially lacking husbandry. It's not like they can maneuver that much. But the one thing that's very interesting to me, right, is Italians have, especially in Arena, the potential to go into Genoese crossbowmen. And sure, they do have to go up against Lithuanian skirmishers at some point, but you can definitely set up a slow push of Genoese crossbowmen backed by like a siege onager or two from the Teuton player. So you Genoese everything that's ranged, you siege onager anything that's ranged, and enemy crossbows, enemy skirms and the like, and then you Genoese crossbow anything that's mounted. And of course, I mean, Genoese crossbowmen do just fine. Once they're in mass, they do just fine against infantry too. So it's not like Italians have to worry too much about the infantry, especially if they can add in hand cannoneers, which are... I would make the point that I think Italian hand cannoneers are probably the best in the game, the most cost effective. They're just... it's so cheap to make them. It's really nice. As for the actual economy, it's interesting, because I think Lithuanians definitely have strength on this map, but it's probably an area where like the immediate boost of 150 food is not quite as strong as on open maps. The benefit is that Lithuanians are of course very happy to play into like scout cav and monks to get relics, and if they can get 4 of them, I mean, they're pretty much like, the game's pretty much over. You can't really counter like Latus with 4 relics. So economically, I think Lithuanians might be the weakest here. I mean, cheaper H-ups are really nice. Like, sure, Italians don't get to use their naval power, but having those cheaper H-ups makes it so much smoother to get up there. And especially, again, they have potential for like fast imp stuff. I don't necessarily think we'll see too much of that, but if the Teutons start being annoying with infantry, hand cannoneers could be very solid there. If the Italians want to go into something else first, especially. Just because, you know, it's hand cannoneers only really need the archer armor upgrades. And of course, bombard cannon is probably one of the strongest counters to siege onager if there's a heavy siege push from either player. I definitely think this matchup can go a lot of ways, despite the fact that there's like a lot of similarities between the teams. But yeah, we have our first click-ups. Medusa is, with the use of Lithuanians, is going to click up first, and followed shortly thereafter by BlackBaby. They're about 3 or 4 seconds apart. And apart from that, the Teuton players are just gonna chunk on for a little bit. And we are seeing CharChar go up now. She's just about exhausting all of her animal food here. And is after that just gonna start using Teuton cheaper farms. Sorentine's not up quite yet. Maybe a little bit as she waits for the food from yeah, she has a queued after another loop. So she's going a little bit heavier than the others on setting up a good economy. And she's actually getting a loom. I suppose that's a fun thing to check. So no loom for Medusa, no loom for CharChar, and no loom for BlackBaby. So Sorentine is the only one who's taking the safe approach, which might end up biting her in the ass a bit. It is gonna make her a little bit later to age up, and that could have a run-on effect. Apart from that, everything looks just as usual, I would say. Blacksmith Market from Medusa. And over here we're seeing Blacksmith Market. Yeah, no one's trying any barracks shenanigans so far, apart from Sorentine actually. She's setting one up right now. So might want to get some Scout Cow out just to make sure that Lithuanians don't start picking up relics. CharChar's gonna set up her own Blacksmith Market. And BlackBaby is actually already up to Castle Age, along with Medusa. And I think Ooh, BlackBaby is actually pretty heavily on stone, so I think she's gonna try for the Genoese crossbowman. Either that, or there's gonna be an attempted castle drop. She's still quite a ways away. She actually spent... I guess she must have sold stone to get up to castle faster. Yeah, there's some scout fighting beginning to happen. Something's showing up, but gonna miss the scout for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Teutons should get an extra point of melee armor in about 2 minutes now. But here comes the rescue. Medusa's coming in with her own scout cab, and they're gonna together fight off this. See if BlackBaby reacts. Oh, it's so close. If she changes her direction too many times here, she will lose that scout cab. Is she gonna lead? Oh my god, is she gonna lead it into the base? Okay, no. Medusa says, you know what? No, I think I'm good. Blacksmith coming up, Mark coming up. She's certainly is just acknowledging that she's gonna have a friend over for a little bit. Just until the evil scout cab leave. Oh, and I think we're gonna be seeing that castle drop. She is not at the requisite amount quite yet, but by the time these villagers arrive, I think we should have seen it come up. Stable is coming up though from CharChar, so I think we're gonna see pretty quick. This is not just gonna be a boom fest. Medusa setting up a second TC, but CharChar seems like she's actually gonna start making even a scout cab, so that might just be to try to control relics, which is fair enough, for sure. I mean, this could definitely be a strong castle. Drop it here, and like this gold pile, this stone pile, and even this stone pile is just gone. But she needs to make sure this is walled up properly, and oh, that's a good position. But she is caught out. I mean, that's a spearman. Oh, she's gonna block off the gate. That's so smart. She's gonna lose some builds here though, because the scouts are coming in. CharChar was prepared to fight for relics, so this is not a big deal for her. Anyway, she has that Teuton melee armor, so it's a lot harder to actually get these scouts dead. I mean, that's villagers going down, and now you only have 3 left to actually build a castle with. And now they know, so more are just going to be coming in. Okay, palisade walls are going up here. They're not quite fully built yet. There you go, there's the house. But are palisade walls enough? I mean, all that's needed... Oh no, it goes down! She didn't prepare it quickly enough. Okay, they're gonna sacrifice themselves to build one last palisade wall for the last remaining villager. And here comes the monk. Oh no. That's about 200 stone just down the drain, and so many villagers too. Even gave one off to CharChar. That's gotta hurt. And now Monastery's up for CharChar. Monastery's up for Medusa too, and they're gonna start collecting relics. Are we seeing a counter castle drop here? I mean, there's so few of them. Or is this just gonna... Oh, okay, now the bear was too scary. I mean, at least kill the bear! They're gonna be annoying until you kill the bear. Yeah, that might just have been a misclick. But yeah, the second relic is gonna be coming up now. CharChar could contribute to that. The castle's gonna go up at home now. That's a very conservative castle. I don't think you need to be that worried. Like, I think you have time to build up like one castle here, and then just like stonewall off this if you're really worried about a counterattack. I mean, you're not gonna come up against like a run by. Okay, it looks like they're waiting for this to clear out Sorentine's knights. Should be good. These are Teuton knights against Teuton knights, and there's gonna be one monk in the next group. Going up against some conversion resistance, and this is a very damaged knight at this point, so it's not, even if they get it, it's not going to be particularly high quality. Yeah, we're up to 3 TCs for Medusa, 1 for BlackBaby, 2 for CharChar. I mean, they have a pretty crazy lead in terms of eco now. But it might be worth it if they can prevent the Lithuanians from... Oh, the high HP knight goes down now, and that Lithuanian monk is just free to pick up another relic and bring it home. So at this point, once this guy makes it back home, is this monk coming here to try to help? I think they might have been going for the same relic there. It's a little bit awkward. Second TC now coming up from Sorentine. But they are behind, and yeah, this is gonna be... At this point, the Lithuanian relic bonus is outweighing the Teuton melee armor bonus, and that's not even accounting for like the fact that, you know, Lithuanians can get even more out of that damage. And even so, like, even without accounting for that, they also have Husbander, which makes them a lot more versatile. One monk is going to bring in, or one relic is going to be brought in for Sorentine after some moonwalking. But they don't need all 5 relics, they only need 4 to hit that maximum cap. These are going to be some scary fucking knights. I realized I just picked a Teuton knight, so it's not, I'm not really pointing out how scared they're gonna be. But suffice it to say, this is pretty close to the worst case scenario as far as Teuton, or excuse me, Lithuanian knights are concerned. Oh, they're using the follow command. Oh, I love that. Yeah, this is not good for Sorentine and BlackBaby. They tried something and it didn't work out. I mean, the castle drop's a good idea, they just didn't quite manage to defend it the way they wanted to. They needed a bit more. They needed a bit more of a force there to be a defender. I think Medusa's probably sending out her monk to find the last relic, but is not gonna find one. Because Sorentine has at least nabbed that one out, so they don't have the reserve relic. 4 TCs now for Medusa. And you don't like hearing the phrase, the enemy Lithuanian player is on 4 TCs and has 4 relics. That is gonna be a bad time. Oh boy. Imperial Age coming in from BlackBaby, so maybe Genoese crossbowmen are coming out. No upgrades yet. Do still need those upgrades, but maybe if she sits behind this castle, just gets to a mass of crossbows, maybe sends out some pikes or Teuton halberdiers in front, there is still a chance, but these knights are so insane. Again, sorry, that's a Teuton knight, but I don't think Medusa actually has military. Oh, she has one here. Yeah, Temple Sword. She has no upgrades, by the way. Yeah, so by the end of this game, assuming they get all the upgrades, this is gonna be a 10 or 14 plus 8 paladin. 180 HP. Also, for some reason, that's odd. Wait. She doesn't have bloodlines, but this is 112. Did she convert this one? But then why does it have? She must have converted this one. I'm guessing the actual damage is just a capture H bug. But yeah, I mean, this is a strong economy. This is not a weak economy at all. A few Genoese crossbowmen are making their way forward, but honestly, like one, I think one Lithuanian knight right now could clean this up. That's just kind of how strong they are. It's a bad position to be in. Genoese crossbowmen is probably the best thing you can aim for right now. Again, with like monks are hard, right, because of the Teuton allies here. But it could potentially be a good thing to have, just in addition. No ballistics yet, which makes this a little bit harder. But you can see Genoese crossbowmen are very good against the cavalry. But I mean, once the floodgates open here, I mean, she's got 1,000 food and almost 2,400 gold, and I mean, she's just booming away. University now going up, I'm guessing just to get up to Imperial Age and start working on that. CharChar is already upping to Imperial Age, and there goes Medusa too. She has 101 villager compared to BlackBaby's 38. Yeah, this is gonna be an uphill struggle if Sorentine and BlackBaby wants to pull this one out. I mean, it's also just hard because it's like every second you wait, it gets worse. Right now, if you were to have a fight, they would probably still win, but it's like in a minute the situation is gonna be worse, and in 2 minutes the situation is gonna be even more worse. Yeah, I don't think it's okay. Trebuchet is good. Like they can actually put some siege pressure on here. Yeah, this is the Imperial HTC. I don't think they can range it from outside the walls. Ooh, save that knight. And it's got Brazier Chemistry now, not Elite Genoese Crossbowman. Elite Genoese Crossbowman isn't a huge upgrade, but it does. Did that Trebuchet just miss a wall? it's doing better now. Castle going up here on the front. I mean, latest. I know the stats actually don't. I think Teutons have a good win rate against Lithuanians, but it feels really weird that that's the case, right? Because, you know, latest are armor piercing, and like half of the Teuton bonuses are armor. But it is now open. Those mangonels are gonna go down. They lost quite a few Genoese crossbowmen, which is very dangerous. I mean, it's not even just about it's not about the defense anymore. It's about having something against the Lithuanian paladin spam that's coming in. Well, give it about 20 seconds and we'll be here. I mean, this is, we're up to 8 stables here, 9 counting this one. And Medusa's in Imperial, so there comes Cavalier. Chain Barding's on the way. I mean, it's a hell of a thing that she's just been able to boom this entire game, basically. Just a few monks out collecting relics. I mean, the relics alone are going to be pretty useful just for the income alone. But of course, they produce a lot more than just income for Lithuanians. Okay, sieging the monastery. Sadly, none of the actual relics are in there. But getting a few Vil snipes, I mean, it's still very far off from being even, but it's closer. Onager is now in for CharChar, so yeah, that's gonna make Genoese crossbowmen a lot harder to actually pull off. One of the negatives about a lot of unique archer units, of which Genoese crossbowmen are included, is that they have lower range, so they're actually even more weak towards Onagers. Conversion coming in here, that's Cavalier. That's Lithuanian Cavalier. 12 plus 5 attack right now. Iron casting is on its way. And yeah. Yeah, that's just the start though. Because there's more. There's a lot more. Yeah. BlackBaby asked the question, and I think it's pretty understandable. I mean, okay, she thinks about it for a second, considers continuing to fight, but gives her a cent, so I assume we're seeing the global GGs in a second. I feel like Medusa might be a little bit disappointed, because she's probably not going to be able to get her paladins in. So she's going to miss out on that 14 plus 8. Plate parting is coming in, and I assume last furnace will be shortly afterwards. And I mean, this is, again, once they've gotten to this point, that there's nothing you can do, right? Like, you could have 100 halberdiers, and this would still probably kill them. Pretty much it's like, maybe Japanese, maybe Byzantines have a chance against this. But yeah, like, Lithuanian paladins are just so strong. They don't even need 4 relics. Like, this is overkill at this point. I think BlackBaby is waiting for this castle drop and seeing if it can do something. And I will admit, though, the one thing CharChar is lacking is that she doesn't have chemistry yet. It's coming in, and she doesn't have a castle, so she's gonna have to wait a little bit for bombard cannons, but that Onager should go down. Okay, Paladin did get in. Last furnace is also about 30 seconds out. Here comes one trebuchet, so they might be trying to get a raid in again, but like, again, this is, yeah, getting wardings against the paladins. I mean, it's, yeah, they're just calling it. Okay. GG, BlackBaby taps out, and Sorentine does the same. And Medusa and CharChar will be our winners for this round. Okay. Thank you all for watching. That was the final game of round 1 of Historical Rivalries Cup. So next round we will be seeing some familiar faces as mentioned. Quite a stomp in game 2, but game 1 was actually really close. It's just unfortunate that castle drop went very awry, very fast. I mean, it's so much more dangerous to do this in a team game, just because there's so much that they can do. Like, if you're just going up against Teutons, you might not expect anything arranged, but given that they have a Lithuanian ally, range may very well do appear at some point. So, yeah, it's hard, but GG's to the players. And I will see you all next time. Bye bye!